Welcome back. And what a treat it is, because tonight we have here an Asus Zenbook Pro 14 Duo OLED. And while this is not the latest generation, it is this very same experience, I reckon. And we're gonna have a little fun with it today. On top we have the new and improved Asus logo there, combo port, an HDMI port, micro SD card, and a DC in. Indicators, USB Type-C ports, two of them, and I believe these are both Thunderbolt. And we have super speed USB-A connection over there. This is a 14-inch device here. And then over here at the bottom, 12.7-inch display. Both of them run at 120 Hertz. A little bit different in terms of the clarity. This one is OLED, this one I believe. And as you can see, it's matte. Also, this side houses the AAS, the Advanced Aerodynamic System, for cooling the device much better. And also comes with an Asus Pen 2.0. It's this one. The difference between this and the older generations is that this one charges via this USB-C slot, and it's fairly fast to charge. So let's turn this thing on, and you can see it boot up with the ScreenPad Plus over here at the bottom. It also has very nice sounds because of the openness of the chamber below it. So there we have, it's a little bit bright right now. The controls for this one are hidden at the side over here. It's set to hide on its own. So with these controls, we have the brightness setting, which we can put down a little bit just to match the top one. So these are all different from this side here, which has its own brightness setting. Over here. Now both of the screens respond to the Asus Pen 2. The top screen a little bit faster than the bottom one. No, I think it's about the same. It's 120 after all. To test it out, because this is after all design and the Asus Zenbook Pro Duo. Zenbook Pro Duo 14 OLED. Yeah, we'll open up Sketchbook and then ink up one of the projects here. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this down here, because this one on this area you can actually pen a little bit better rather than this area here on top. Okay, we will move some of the commands later, and I will power this up. This is the charger. This is actually a 200 watt brick. Is that correct? Yes, 200 watts. We're gonna latch it onto the back here for maximum power. So after all, this thing works the best when all the juice is flowing into it. And just pull it up. So this is actually, of course, a full touch screen. If we did uh, if we were using our fingers, we can shift between fingers and pen when we're using it. And I just prefer doing it here because it's solid, it doesn't move. Unlike if it's here, you know, on top, if it's on top and you like put a little bit pressure there, it moves. Here, it will not. Okay, so I've been working with this for around a month now, and it's been quite a really nice experience. So we're doing it like a brush right now because at least it follows our motion very closely. We'll eventually replace it anyway, or use a paint bucket tool on it. But for now, this should be well within what we need. So again, this was a stencil that uses a few indigenous plants as its base, you know. So what the Zenbook Pro Duo offers is nothing short of, how do we say, it's an attention grabber. Not only that, it's a conversation starter, most definitely. It's not very precise, but should do for now. While we're inking this up, so we'll just clean it up a little bit later. What I can tell you is that the experience of inking on this hardware is quite different from earlier ones that I have tried. This thing has inside of it an Intel Core i7 12th gen 12700H and a 3050 Ti inside. You know, when we had a meeting and I took this out, right after the meeting, immediately it was complimented, saying that this is one of the computers that they've been checking out for themselves. Because why wouldn't you like a second screen like this? You know, there's an argument to be made about how this form factor is even better than the one being offered right now, the one with the double screen. You know, my idea behind that is, when you are using the double screen, you have to fiddle around with it to get it into the proper position. Whereas this one, you take it out of its case, and then it's practically ready. You need to fiddle around with it as much. You open up the lid, and then you're already on your way to creating. And this thing, this ScreenPad Plus, gives you around 2 more viable windows with decent resolution. So especially when this thing is on power, you know, it really can give you a workstation class experience. Not to say that the mobile version of it is a slouch, you know, it still is quite fast. It's just that you tend to experience some unnecessary jitters when you're not using it under power. So you can see, if you exert pressure on it, you know, it's very easy to make the lines thicker. It absolutely works. More here than there. It really gives you that much needed space to be able to look at references and then use them to the advantage of your project. So we have our work here below, and then up top we can have like 4 different browsers going on. No, right now it's 3. Okay, like that. So you can have your reference here. No, like that. And here maybe you can have some music running, and then some chatter here on the other side, all while working. Yeah. So the screens here, especially the top screen, the OLED screen, is really a different experience, especially when you're watching things that have a lot of color on them. So what I can tell you is the experience of actually producing it this way is very welcome. I was actually on a meeting earlier, and I was using the pen also here on top. I was taking a screenshot of this and then annotating on it on the fly while this thing was connected to an external monitor. So, but during that case, I had to turn off the screen pad so that I can do a mirror between the two, mirror display. You know, when you find yourself in like a, let's just say a coffee shop setting, you know, because I have brought this over to one of those and was doing referencing while typing away. Apart from the experience of your hands floating a little bit like that, it was generally a much faster output, production output, because of the multitude of screens, and you didn't have to fiddle with any extenders outside or like half removed from your device, which is, I'm not saying that's bad, but I have had my fair share of removable devices, especially in planes. That's gonna be a doozy. But this one will give you the flexibility no matter the circumstance, just like a regular laptop, but with an addition of 2 viable um, screens. You know, this size right here is almost the same. So you'd be looking at basically three, maybe this is not full HD, of course, three, let's say, HD screens. Let's try it. Oops. Let's click right over there. Open. A little bit this. And finally, we have our third set over here. You know what's more special about this secondary screen here? Let me just show you a quick bit. When you have a supported, this is a supported software that uses this secondary screen as something like a quick menu of sorts. So I'm firing up Lightroom. That's one of my latest photos over there. Then here we will put up the Asus control panel. Oh, is it using a system control panel? Oh yeah, because I have not put focus on Lightroom. See, I'm gonna put focus on Lightroom now, and this will change. See? Yes, this is actually the develop module. You can use it even if you're just scrolling around in the selection. So it just, you know, just makes it a little bit easier to control. And you can do it with a combination of the keyboard here, of course. You have quick selection toggles here to go back. Open up a side-by-side view, undo, redo. Oh no, these are rotations. We have a zoom, a big zoom scroller over here. Highlight controls, shadow controls. And it's very discerning too, like you're touching up here, it won't do anything. You must touch the slider. And then you must get the slider and move it. Or of course hit the line right there. In which case it jumps to the position. Like a cat's paw over here. It's part of the Sampaguita flower, which this last stencil was derived from. Small heart-shaped thing over there. Almond. Try it again. Yep. Okay, so we have done 3 examples over here. You can just show it like that. So you've inked through that, and all that's left to do really is to place them on their own cutouts. So you just don't have anywhere to put this. You keep it like this. You turn it off, put it down, and then you bring it with you. And put this somewhere else. So that's it. This is it's 160k. Yeah, that's the i9 version, and then this one is 140. So there's two SKUs. This one 12th gen, and then the next one is an i9 13th generation that costs 20k more. Alright, I hope that helped you get a grasp on what the Asus Zenbook Pro 14 Duo OLED can do for you and will do for you. Right? I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.